You cannot block a road for Museveni to do number 2 on a road. Someone is dying, and then you say they care. Yeah, but Faye, when it comes to this kind of petition, that's when we say we are against the country. But when it comes to asking for support, okay, where do you think that money is coming from? Do you think they get it from the tree? Do you know the use of taxes in our country? Because the money they are borrowing us Ugandans, it is the taxes that Lukanga wakes up every morning or every night during snow, during any kind of weather. They tax me, that's the money they get. They don't get it from their coffer for free. They don't get it from the tree. You see the importance of taxes? And then for you, they cannot Martin, go on. Put it up soon. I swear.
Martin.
Yes, Principal D, you can go on.
I wanted to read something small here that I was failing to because I had closed the bill. I don't want to be angry alone. Let me make you guys also angry.
Everybody be angry alone. Leave us.
What you are saying, Charles Onyango boy is typing at 2 a.m. endlessly. You must know that things are serious. Now, the application of this bill, where it is applied, it says this act applies to any person who acts as an agent of a foreigner. That is one. Number 2, for avoidance of doubt, this act applies to an agent of a foreigner who engages in any of the following activities through any means, including the use of digital platform. That's what. So these are the means. I'm going to read. Whether you do it on social media or outside social media, but they were very specific that for avoidance of doubt, this act applies to an agent of a foreigner. Of course, we already explained an agent of a foreigner who engages in any of the following activities through any means, including the use of digital platform. I have to express that. So A, engages in the political activities in Uganda for or in the interest of a foreigner. Now, Lukanga, you're a foreigner, and you have your interest in Uganda, and you're making us engage. This act will apply to us. Number 2, solicits, collects, disburses, or dispenses contributions, loans, money, or other things of value for or in the interest of a foreigner. No more getting loans. Now, this other part here, they are more specific. Represents the interest of a foreigner before any agency or official of a government. Then this other last one. Recruits, contracts, engages, enters into partnership. There's a part for campaign. You know, there are very many. Influences the development of policy of Uganda. This what we are doing here is we are trying to influence policy. So this act will apply to us. The next one says influences the public to oppose the policy of government. Agora trying to mobilize Ugandans to resist a coffee amendment bill. Agora is a foreign agent. Lukanga, you're a foreign agent. So also the other thing I didn't tell you is, but I tried to highlight it, that this bill removes our powers to influence how we are governed, removes our powers to oppose government projects and policies. Because according to this bill, there are several points where they speak about you opposing government policy. It is not only you are not opposing the government policy, whether it is oppressive or, and then by any means, I have someone who has ever sent me money, and that person is a foreigner. this bill is applying to me. I'm not supposed to oppose any. This thing here of you collecting money to NUP for campaigns because NUP is opposing government policy. In fact, no wrote this bill. Fuck him and his mother and his everyone. Because like the way Semakande said, this bill is actually, by the way, AI. It is AI generated. There's no one who sits down and writes this.
It is.
AI generated.
It is not AI. It is real. Who read it?
This bill doesn't look real, by the, and I think other countries look at us and laugh. There's nothing.
They look at us, laugh, and then they ask themselves, how can they even tolerate such? I mean, that's the question. They'd be like, how can they even think about that? How can they even think for a second to really go by that?
Now, let me read for you this part that speaks about sovereignty, because that is what they are hiding behind. So they have 5 here. Part 2, protection of sovereignty. It starts by sovereignty of the people, and it quotes Article 1. In accordance with Article 1 of the Constitution, the people of the Republic of Uganda shall have sovereignty over the social, economic, and political policies affecting the governance of the Republic of Uganda. 2. Every Ugandan shall be under an obligation to promote the sovereignty of the people of Uganda, and all the activities of the government shall be conducted in such a manner that promotes the interests of Uganda. That's why I told you this bill doesn't define interest of Uganda and interest of a foreign. It goes ahead and says a person shall not engage in any activity that promotes the interest of a foreigner against the interests of Uganda. What are those interests of a foreigner? This bill doesn't define a foreign interest, because I told you a foreigner can influence politically. Is the foreign interest political, economic? Because by this bill, you saw that once you receive money, once you're employed by a foreigner, if you're a marketeer and you market an Indian shop and it grows, because if you're making the business of a foreigner grow against businesses of Uganda, you're promoting a foreign interest. It's against the interest of Uganda because they can come from any angle. I don't want us to imagine it is impossible, because we have seen these fools. If up to now they still arrest people and keep them, from last year in, is it September, for cases of common nuisance, they are charged with common nuisance. They are even convicted. They are waiting sentence. The guys of ECO. Next is a person who promotes the interest of a foreigner against the interest of Uganda commits an offense and is liable on conviction. I think you're here. I don't want to go into these fines, because the fine goes to 20 years, then the other ones are in 100,000s of currency points, which are in billions. Now, this is AI, by the way. Me, I don't believe that a human being sat down and wrote this. Like Semagati say, they told AI to look around for the worst laws that autocrats use, because when you search about laws that are similar to this, the first example you have is Russia. So if you know the kind of control that is in Russia, it's what they want to try to bring to Uganda. So now if internet begins giving you such kind of reference, you should know where we are going. So I hope that
we're not in down, but even when we look at Russia, I mean, I think ours is even worse than Russia, because I don't think Putin is even thinking of any of his members to take over power in Russia. Perhaps he's looking at his oligarchs, but not his family. But here you're looking at family rule. All this is being implemented to protect